Welcome to Fitzlife Unfiltered with Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick. Jamie and Kim will help you live abundantly, provide value and tips on achieving physical, mental, spiritual, and financial wealth while navigating this crazy thing we call life. Are you ready? Let's go.
You can't speak, so I'll show you. It's the Fitzlife
Welcome
Unfiltered
to the
podcast.
Fitzlife Unfiltered podcast.
Cheers.
Live. Okay, I am nervous, but also super excited.
Why are you so nervous? What's making you nervous about it?
I mean, because we're here and you can see us, and normally we're in this blue cave.
And we can like make angry signals to each other if we don't like what each other's saying.
I did think
you can't do that now.
I literally thought about that. I was like, I'm going to really have to maintain my emotional regulation
because you sometimes aren't the best at controlling your life. You look at
my
me.
resting bitch face.
No, I didn't say that. You said that, not me. You said that. There's no resting bitch face. You just you kind of show what's on your mind.
Yeah, that's true. I'm an open book. So welcome officially to the Fitzlife Unfiltered. We are live. We are super excited about doing this podcast, but this is our 139th episode, but this is our first episode live on camera.
Where you can see us.
And
our faces.
Yeah. And I still don't know how I feel about that, but I do know that
you're already more comfortable. We can tell. How long have we wanted to do this?
A long time.
A long time.
Like a year?
No.
No, these were made a year ago.
I'm supposed to meet with you May 20th.
Yes.
2024.
So
No.
we're so glad you're here.
No, but
1 year later, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, and we'll put Kyle's info too in the show notes because Kyle's awesome. But
Kyle's now part of our bench.
He is. But what I was going to say is that I kind of feel like I'm on a TV morning show. What I was going to say is Kyle was about a year ago, but we've wanted to do the video part since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just you just need the right setup, right people.
Well, and I think we need to be in the right space. And, there's different versions of us that our podcast has gotten and our viewers have gotten over the last 3 years. And I feel like we are ready to go to that, whether that be that next level or that next expansion or that next door opening requires us being a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more open, a little bit more on camera, a little bit more directive, whether it comes to coaching or life or,
all of it.
Everything in between, leadership, executive leadership, elite performance, like all the things of what that's going to take to be, whether it be an entrepreneur or a career-driven human, whatever that is, it all matters.
Well, from a business standpoint, I don't want to say this is essential because you can have all different types of businesses and some are big, small, it doesn't matter. For us, this is just an evolution of what we needed to do, right? Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, social media is a big part of business nowadays. I think Kim likes it more than I do, but that's okay. I still do it, and I actually enjoy it when I can be a dork, which I am. I do enjoy social media, but this is part of that. Elevate the brand a little bit, and you get to know us better. That's what it really comes down to. Because if people are going to work with us in all the different capacities you have to trust, you have to kind of get a feel. And I think this is a better way. I'm looking at that camera now. It's a better way for people to actually know who you are. And we've talked about this morning and this weekend, if you show up authentically like this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not. I don't say you don't. No, I don't say you don't. That's the one we've always talked about. It's the one question people ask about you. Is Kim like that in real life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're happy and you have your moments, but we all do. But no, I think for this to work, you have to show up as you, regardless if the cameras are there or not.
I think that's probably one of the best compliments. We just came off a retreat in Costa Rica.
Yes.
It was our embodied women retreat. We had 17 of us there. It was absolutely amazing.
I was not invited.
No, you were not invited. But Bev, who I've known a long time, Bev Dondale, she'd be okay with me sharing her name. And Bev and I have been connected for years and years and years. And I actually just got her testimonial in today from the retreat, and it was so beautiful. But the one thing that she said, we were probably an hour and a half into the retreat where she had, planes, trains, automobiles.
Yes.
She came in from so far away. And, what was so cool is she said, you're exactly the same person in life, in real life, and as you are, whether it be on social media or in your wellness groups or connecting over Messenger. And she said, I really appreciate that. And I think that's something that I'm really proud of. I am absolutely the same person. There are no masks. I'm not faking anything. I won't, I spent the first part of my life being performative and suffering through and figuring out how to just appease people to live.
Right.
I don't need to do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
masks are off, armor's down. You know, I love that. I shared that this week actually about Brene Brown has this amazing, I'm not sure what book it is. Maybe it's Into the Wilderness, where she talks about the armor. I think you can relate to this.
Yep.
Like you've known me for like almost like over half my life.
Forever.
Yeah, forever, but over half my life. And what Brene says is she says that so many people wear this armor, and for a long time that armor was super protective. But it comes a point in your life, specifically in midlife, where you're halfway to death. That's what she said. You're halfway to death, and you are no longer protected by this armor that you've worn. You're inhabited by it, and you can't show who you authentically are. You can't show who you really want to be. You were just sitting there in armor, protecting yourself from living.
Right.
And when you shed that, I think that's really what I try to be, is who I am, and take me as I am, right? I'm not going to be for everyone, but for the people
Nobody
that I'm
is.
for, I am so grateful for that, you know?
I think that's the hardest part for people, and regardless of what you're trying to do, is that you have to be really comfortable with people not necessarily getting you, or even, I don't want to say the word liking you, because it's impossible for everyone to like someone. I really believe that. But you have to be comfortable with people not liking you or your message, or not interested in what you're doing. You have to be really comfortable with that. Otherwise, that's going to bother you so much you won't show up how you should.
Well, that's ego, right? I think a lot of that's ego.
I'm also
where-
just too old to care.
Sure.
No, I really believe that.
Yeah.
Like I'm too far into my life. We have too much shit to do,
Yeah.
kids to raise, goals to. You think I'm going to worry about Nancy in Thunder Bay? Like what she thinks? Honestly, it just doesn't register. Doesn't mean I don't care about people and how they feel. I just can't lend energy there. It's not worth it for me.
Well, I think there's two things. So I think number one, that people have unrealistic expectations that can show up all the time, and you can put people on pedestals, and you can want these people to be these people, and then they aren't these people because they're human.
Well, we're so flawed.
Everyone's so flawed. Every human is flawed. We're never gonna appease to every
Except for
single
Kyle.
person.
Kyle's not that flawed, but most people are very flawed.
Yeah, right? But it's like, and the other thing that's so important to note too is that we are mirrors. So like, I remember reading this. I think I send you 900 reels a day.
It's not 900, but it's a few. It's a few.
And one of them was like,
And you're like, did you see that one? I'm like, which one? Which one of
the
10?
fourth one.
Which one
at
of the
10?
10?
Yeah, but one of them was like, the person that you marry often will show you will be the biggest mirror for you. And it's the things that you have to work through the most. At least I felt that. I resonated that with you, and I
Explain
feel
that.
Meaning, like, there are things that maybe you do that will trigger me, for example, or I will do and that will trigger you, for example. And I don't even like to use the word trigger because I think that's an overused word right now. I really don't need to say that, but this is what I'm learning instead. This was a huge awakening for me, and I'm going to just say it. I'm saying this direct to camera. I notice that when I am not happy with the things that I'm doing in my life, right? Maybe I'm not as on point with my own movement or my non-negotiables or my standards. I will then start being like,
Yeah.
you should do this.
It comes my way.
It comes your way. And vice versa, by the way.
Sure.
Yes?
I don't think I call you out on that stuff as much as you call me out.
No, you just get a little bitchy.
Do I? I don't think so.
What happened last night? What happened at
guys,
dinner?
hold on a sec. She's so wrong. No.
What happened at dinner last night? Oh, you know.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened at dinner last night?
Well, you said I was in a grumpy mood?
Yes.
But that didn't have anything to do with you. What? What?
You're not proving my point.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding it. Okay.
It's fine. My point is that, and this is for anyone listening, is that so often we will point a finger at someone else when our lives aren't working for us. And there are three fingers pointing back at you when you point at someone. When you point at someone, there's three fingers pointing back at you. So I feel like people are mirrors.
Yeah.
And
I know, but and the other thing too is, with me, and we can get into this at another episode. I have my stuff, but I know more than anyone the shit I have to do. We all do. So even when you tell me that, this is like marriage 101, but like I obviously know of the shit I need to do for myself. I don't need you to tell me, but I do know when you do tell me, I know you're not as happy with what's going on. And you also just care about me and want me to be healthy and vibrant and have energy and into what we're doing and all that too.
I also think too, and this, not to talk about marriage, and this is certainly has zero. We are not marriage counselors. We are not marriage experts, but we have a lived experience of 21 years dating, 16 years married, 17 years married, 18 years. How many years?
I know. I don't really know.
A lot of years married. And
hold on, 2007. You do that in your head.
2005?
2007 is when we got married.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that is, hold on, what is 18? This October will be 18.
That's amazing.
Right?
I don't do math or geography on
18.
camera. You'll learn that about me quick.
18 years. Wow, that's a long time.
Right?
What year did we meet? 2004? Was year one of
Yeah.
Bark and Fitz?
Yeah, 2004.
Okay.
We'll have to tell that story one day because it's so cute.
Yeah. Okay, so what were you saying?
What were we talking about?
You were talking about giving me shit for myself or something. No? Just people are unhappy with themselves and
Oh, well, we've known each other for so long. And I think that's the biggest thing for a long time. You know, there's it's cyclical, right? Where it can be like up again, down again, up again, down again, up again, down again. Right?
Which part?
Just
us as people. Oh, yeah.
People in general, humans.
No, I
right?
wouldn't say our marriage has been like that.
Oh God, no, not at all. I'm saying as humans, we can have this capacity, this ability to, feel like you're going in the depths of despair, and then you're up, and then you're down, and then so you live in this life of peaks and valleys. You live in this life of on and off. And I think what you and I are really trying to continue to recalibrate towards is that, I don't want to call it ascension, but it's like it's just upward motion. Like we don't need to keep dipping. Like we've got to get to a point in our own lives, and our own identity and our own upgrades where past stories or past patterns just don't hold us anymore. And that's just growth. And I think that's what I'm talking about over our marriage, the course of our marriage, where you're either going to go together, right? Or you're going to go apart. And I like that we also can have courageous and crucial conversations with each other when someone's not showing up, but that what we each think could be the higher ability to be like, let's go. We have high standards, and those activities or those behaviors are like, are you proud of that? It doesn't matter whether I am or not. It's asking yourself whether you are. Like, are you feeling like, listen, whatever happens for you when no one's watching, it's like, I love that analogy. Ed Milet said it one time. He's like, if I were to turn down the volume in your life and I followed you around for the week, would I know what your values are? Would I know what your goals are? Would I know what you're working on? And I think that's important. And that's what we hold each other to task on. It's not nagging. It's not.
I think though that for you and I, and it's sometimes you don't like to hear the not even criticism, it's just constructive, but like I think you and I are done enough work where you're secure enough to know that you're not telling me to nag, or you're not telling me because you're just unhappy with what you're telling me because and it's going to sound cliche, because you're like, oh, you're better than that.
And I love you.
Well, of course, but there's also, but that's part of it. You love me, so you want me to have a standard of excellence, or you in something, or like it goes both ways.
Kind of feel your best.
But we don't take it like, oh fuck, you're telling me. I don't ever really think about that. Maybe the odd time, but I don't think of it like, I'm like, I actually know you actually want, like you said, you want me to feel my best. You want me to be the best version. It sounds cliche and corny, but I know that. So like that lends itself to be very open with each other. And hopefully it leads to improvement, because the problems arise when someone's saying that to the other person. You're like, fuck that. This is what's wrong with you. No. Just listen to it. I know you're trying to do the best. Like you want the best for me. That's really important. And I think some people don't quite grasp that. So they get defensive. You start resenting the person who's saying that to you. Whereas I truly know you want what's best for me. And I think vice versa. Sometimes you don't like it. You don't like being told what to do either. Oh, that's a big one.
I keep saying I'm so healed, and then you tell me what to do, and I'm like,
you're like, wow,
I'm not healed.
No, I'm not. Again,
I'm healed.
It's the same thing. I'm not telling you that just because, like, hey, Kim, like you're doing this, and that's not how. That's not, I think, what you would want from yourself. Because
Yeah.
if you were just quiet with each other and never say anything, then I think that's
Yeah.
even worse.
Well, I think too, like we both are coaches. So it's like, and you know, in life and in business and in leadership. So it can get like sort of intense in our conversations sometimes
Yeah.
where we have standards.
But sometimes
and there's standards of excellence.
Yeah.
And I like that. I want that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun being able to hold I think we're really good at that in a kind and loving way. And I think that that's important. To be able to have a courageous conversation and not stomp your feet out of the room is also a high level of emotional maturity.
I have,
and that's important.
Yeah, I have thought in my head before, don't coach me right now, though.
Yeah. And I think
I don't need to be coached right now.
so. I feel like that's a good point, and you need to say, "Don't coach me." We should say that. We should have a code word. Is this a coaching
How about
conversation?
just don't coach me is a good code word.
It's fine.
Hey, don't coach me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you try to tell me how to be more time management. I'm just like,
We don't want to talk about that. I told Kyle at the start of this, what is that? Should we talk about it or no? Okay.
no.
Guys, we're not going to talk about that. That's a real clear no. Hilarious. But I'm so anal about it. So anal about
Giving me
it.
anxiety. I'm sweating right now.
Because I messaged Kyle. I was like, because I saw on our calendar it was 9 a.m. And I'm like, we're not going to be there for 9 a.m. I'm like, Kyle, it's 10 a.m., right? Because I was confirming it because it makes me uncomfortable to think, shit, does Kyle think we're going to be there at 9 and we're not there till 10? So I just had to confirm that. That's my own stuff too. I think being on time is good.
Oh, it's important.
But that's my
Yeah.
own, why does it bother me so much? That's a question. Don't know.
Oh, you're asking me that
Well,
question?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you think it bothers you so much?
I don't know. I think, well, no.
Were you late as a child?
No, I don't think so. No, I'm trying to think if my mom or dad was ever late. I don't think so. I don't know. I can't remember. I blocked some of that stuff out.
Yeah.
Probably. I spent a lot of time with my dad because he coached me and stuff. I think I blocked a lot of that out. And we don't need to go down there, but yeah, he's actually a good dad. He's just knowing now. It's bizarre. No, it's bizarre, dude. That's for another episode, right? That's not the intro episode to go down.
I mean, do we even want to film that? That's
What's
the
that?
thing.
No.
We don't want to do
No.
And that's the thing about this podcast. For those of you that have been around for a while and maybe this is the first time you've seen us because you're like, whoa, what is happening over here on YouTube or this short or whatever that is. But, we have a lot of history that we've done in 138 other episodes that talk a lot about the differences of where we've come and where we've grown through. Actually, I had a girlfriend message me who's going through something similar to that I went through in my family. And she said, I've never heard, she said, I can't believe you were even sounded that fractured on an episode from 2022. And she's like, it didn't even sound like you.
Oh.
So it's like, that's the thing where we've grown up with the podcast, and that's so cool that we get to be that way. So there's going to be things we talk about now, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't even affect me now. Whereas for a long part of my life there was a ton of trauma and healing and growth. And I was just trying to figure out life. And I feel like there's a lot more to living right now than my past and the stories. And we've gone through a lot together. And I'm just I'm really proud of who we are today and what we're moving forward with and next chapters. And
I think too, it's like when you put yourself out there like this, and we have put ourselves out there for a long time on social media, right? There's always collateral damage to some of that stuff. It's good and bad. I don't apologize for some of it, but it's kind of like you said, sometimes people, I'm sure in the past episodes we've said stuff that looking back now we'd be like, oh, we probably wouldn't say that stuff. My memory's terrible. So of the 100 hours on tape, I don't know, I'm sure we've said stuff that I probably wouldn't say now, but that's okay because it's part of us. And like we said, God, we're flawed. Everyone is. And you're not here to be perfect. We're just sort of here to share our experience and share our business experience, and life and finance and marriage. And if you find it interesting, awesome. If you don't, you can exit stage left. It's really not a big deal. No, it's true though. It's and I've always said this about this podcast is, I think Kim and I have this belief that if you're in service to people, that's the best way to obviously create impact and create income, because we do run businesses, and newsflash, that's part of it. But at the end of the day, this is also for you and I, it's very cathartic. It always has been cathartic, because how often do you just sit and talk to your partner in the face without any distractions? It's very rare. And then we kind of discovered that on the podcast.
Yeah, it was
We're like,
fun.
oh, this is kind of the only, and obviously we sit and talk and have coffee, and I'm not saying that, but like to the sole focus be on communicating with each other and nothing else is going on, that's very rare, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. And the other thing that I would say too is that we like really dive into topics that push each other, and maybe they push the boundaries, or
Yes.
they make us, go through things and scenarios that we've experienced together. And that's healing too.
Yeah.
Being able to talk through things and, being able to reflect back and mirror things to each other. And I appreciate that. The best thing we did was start the podcast. I think it's been
good.
so much fun, and it's given people a lens in, and that's what we want. We want this to be more conversation. My goal, if it was my way, this podcast would be with a topic. I'd have a slideshow and a PowerPoint, and there'd be objectives.
Yeah.
And that is the opposite of what
And I would just prefer to be a jackass on camera most of the time. No, that's not true.
No.
But yeah, but I think like we have differing opinions on what the podcast should be, and that's okay. It can be a blend of both.
And the goal will be, at least for me, is that there will be some lessons woven in, because that's important. These little nuggets, or that little sliver. And that's what a good podcast is about. It's about leaving something. When you listen to anything, whether it be an audiobook, a podcast, maybe it's a song, whatever that is, you're left better or with one little nugget of like, oh, this one thing resonated. Not everything will, but there'll be the one thing. And that's, for me, I love to be that thread and needle. It's important to me that your time is valuable, and that's important, you know?
Yeah.
Not their time. I'm talking over here. Like,
What's your favorite podcast?
I
just trying to- go ahead.
I really love The Niche Is You by Matt Gottsman. So shout out to you, Matt. He's amazing. I love him, and he's phenomenal. So anyone who's a business owner, go listen to Matt Gottsman.
Do you know who Sean Ryan is?
Oh,
I was just listening to Sean Ryan. He's
Yeah.
a very popular
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah, he's an ex-military guy. But he had Peter Attia on this morning. I was listening to it.
I just heard. I want to get that book he wrote.
Yeah, he was talking about cardiovascular disease is like
There you go.
19
Yeah.
million people a year.
Wow.
We don't have to talk about that, but yeah, that's
That's one. You know what? I listen to a lot of Growth Day. I listen to a lot of Brendan
Oh, yeah,
Bouchard.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that's really more of my personal growth,
Kim
which
does
I
not
love.
listen to Smartless, by the way.
Oh, I can't. Sometimes
much
I'm
nattering?
listening.
Do you know what it is? Yeah.
So sometimes I'm listening. I'm by myself in the house, and I have my Google Play on, and I'm like, Google, play Coffee House Favorites on Spotify. It's my favorite. And then all of a sudden, you're somehow from wherever you
yeah.
are in the
It connects
world,
to the kitchen
and
speaker.
I'm getting screamed at by these three men, and I'm like, what,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Why do they do that? It's really strange.
It is so do you
Maybe
Tess?
Kyle knows we don't.
Tess yells
we're,
at
we're tech idiots.
Tess yells at you too sometimes. She's
Yeah.
like, Dad, turn off your podcast.
I'm like, I'm in Burlington. Like, what are you talking about? What are you hearing? Anyway.
Or you love John Delaney.
The John Delaney, yeah, he's good. I haven't listened to him for a while, but he's good. Like, he's a psychotherapist,
Yeah.
and he gets some wild calls.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting man.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I love Dr. Bruce Lipton, epigenetics. I love the Model Health Show. Like that's my wheel. I love
Model
all
Health
that
is
stuff.
good, yeah.
Great stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I love education or learning something. Or
Yeah.
Mel Robbins is great. There's so many amazing podcasts. Honestly,
Yeah.
how you've known me almost more than half my life now. At this point, I have been a student and someone who's a lifelong learner for as long as you've known, longer than that. When I was 18, my uncle handed me a cassette tape, my Neon. I loved my Neon. It had a fishtail. Is that what they're called?
Oh, those-
Spoiler. A whale tail.
Those cars were pieces of shit.
They
though,
were,
hey?
but it
Little
was
tin
beautiful.
Cans, the neons.
It was
sorry, whoever.
She was
is that
silver.
Dodge? Sorry.
No, she was.
Do they still
silver.
make them?
Did you have a Neon?
No.
So many people had a Neon, and my little cassette. And he handed me
My
Wayne.
ex-girlfriend had a neon. Too.
Really?
Yeah. Never mind. Hey, go ahead.
Was it silver?
It was.
Did it have a whale tail?
Can't remember.
Yeah, that was extra.
Right there.
What?
You're good.
What?
It was just a little bit of. You're good. No, it wasn't hair.
You were salivating
I would
over the
have
neon.
picked that one off. No, we're salivating over the neon.
Is my chin hair growing
No,
this fast?
no. It grows fast, but not that fast.
Okay. But I would like put cassette tapes in, and instead of listening to the radio, I would, or Journey, I would listen to like Wayne Dyer and Robin Sharma and all these things. And so for me, it's like listening to a podcast. I like it to have something that it gives me, and I think at the end of the day, what you can expect from this podcast is not us to try and be these experts. We have a lot of expertise. We have a lot of designations. We have a lot of things we've moved through and built. But we're just here to be real and human and relatable as well.
Everyone is an expert in their own life and their experiences. You're an expert in your own experience
100%.
in your life. So it's like, oh, you're not an expert. Well, everyone is an expert in what they've been through. If you've been through certain things, you're actually an expert in that because it's your experience and you have lived experience. And that's almost more, that's more experience than like going and getting a piece of paper that says you're something.
I think one of the things that I love the most that we do in the work that we do and the intention and the goal after every, whether it be a workshop or course or a mastermind or legacy, whatever that is that people leave with the tools and they leave empowered, because there's a lot of coaches out there and a lot of people out there and therapists even, and because I have a whole bench that will make you feel like you need them in order to make the next move. And our intention is for you to know that you have the next move right inside of you. And we might just be a part that's along for the ride. And I think that's really important. Like, you are the hero of your journey. And there is a huge misconception when you're relying on other people to tell you exactly what to do and you're not listening inside and you're not giving yourself the ability to trust your own intuition. That's so key. So you're going to find that from us here, definitely in this space and on this podcast. But we're excited, and I'm so grateful I feel like I'm talking right to you. And I like that. I feel like I'm talking right to someone's soul. And that's my soul. Like,
I know.
What are you doing?
I know. Well, they can't see me from that camera, so.
But I
They
like
can see
that.
my hand. They
I
can't
like
see
that.
me.
That's important to me when I can feel like it's outside of us. And that's really big. So
Yeah, been fun. Good job.
here we go.
It's not episode 1, but it's kind of
Episode 1.
Again, what's going on?
139.
What's that for?
It was a terrible high five.
Well, because you have to reach. I have short arms. I have little T-Rex arms. I'm just like, that guy. Anyway. Okay, let's close it off. We closed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, okay. Episode 1.
That's fun.